What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Game On Improve Your Health podcast. Today's episode journey is being guided by none other than your host, Austin J, or hallucinodream, if you know him from the gaming community. And today's topic is a question and answer and follow up to last week's episode, which was on tips for getting ready for the summer. Thank you for tuning in and listening, and enjoy this episode. Wow. I wanted to clear my throat during that, but I did not want to interrupt it. Anyways, almost got it out. How's everybody doing? And welcome to the episode. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for those who have listened up until now. Thank you for those who are supporting. And thank you to those who may have listened to last week's episode. This episode is a follow-up and question and answer to last week's episode, which was on tips on getting ready for the summer. And we're going to answer, of course, we're going to follow up, and then we're going to answer any questions that have come in. First thing I want to talk about is, the weather changing. So the fact that the weather's changing and the sun's coming out more often is crucially beneficial to your mood. I'm sure a lot of people know what is that term? One of my buddies says all the time. He says through the winter that he has SAD, seasonal something depression, I don't even know what it stands for, but apparently that's like an actual thing. And just from experiencing, really thinking about it, the lack of sun really does have an impact on your mood and your overall health. So there are studies, I believe, on this as well. I'll try to pull some up so I can reference them better, but that actually prove just because it's the vitamin D that you're not getting from the sun not being there really has an impact on your hormones and mood. So very interesting stuff. But now that the sun's coming out more often, what I want to talk about, and I don't think I touched on it last episode, or maybe I did, but I've also talked about this in a couple other episodes. You can go back and listen to some of those episodes as well. I'd appreciate it if those people who, maybe are just tuning in would go back and listen to some new, older episodes as well. Get outside first thing in the morning. So one of the, I'm doing some research on, longevity and, how to fix my eyes naturally and everything of the sort. But one of the recurring themes is to get up, get outside, get some sunlight first thing in the morning. They say 20 minutes of sunlight. Obviously, you don't want to look at the sun, right? I'm not talking about that, but just being in the sun. And if you wear glasses, try to get outside in the sun without the glasses, right? So that the sun rays are able to, and that light is able to get into your eyes without being blocked by the glasses lenses. Getting sunlight right in the morning, 20 minutes, that will help boost not only your mood. It'll get you the vitamin D that you need, which helps regulate hormones. That's one of the crucial vitamins, obviously. And will, keep your body going and keep you healthy. Just the amount of sun. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. So, especially, I would say maybe outside of the people who live in sunny states all year round. Those who don't and experience a lack of the sun for several months because of the weather changes probably can relate. And if you haven't thought about it, you probably will if you're listening to this. Thinking back, without the sun, you probably have noticed that you may not be as happy. Thinking on it, many people might put that into relationship with, I feel this way because I can't go to the beach, or I can't do this, do that, and we have to wear all these extra clothes and all this stuff, when that's partially true, but it's more than likely related to the sun. If you had to do all that stuff and the sun was still out, probably wouldn't, your mood would probably still be better. So get out. That's another tip. Get out, get in the sun. If you can't do 20 minutes, any amount of time would be good. Just walk outside. Let's say first thing you do in the morning is grab a cup of coffee, and the sun's up. Go outside. Take a couple sips of coffee outside for 3-5 minutes, and then go back inside and get ready for your day. If you wake up before the sun, sometimes I do that, and you're already at work, if you can, try to excuse yourself, go outside for a couple minutes. It doesn't have to be very long. More often than not, I find it hard to believe that companies, unless you're like really working on a project and you have a strict deadline in the next couple hours, and you're cutting it very close, I can't imagine a lot of people, if you tell them you're going out to get some sun, to help with productivity, to help with hormone balance, to help with your mood, it's hard to believe somebody's going to be like, no, don't ever do that again. I don't want you going outside. It's, especially if you're only out there for a couple minutes. Like, I'm not saying go out there for 20 minutes, because that might not look good, especially if you're doing that more times or a lot of times during the day, right? I don't condone that, by the way. So get out, get some sun. Sun is very beneficial. That's the first tip that I wanted to add in there. I realized that I might not even have talked about the sun. Talking about the summer episode, right? So that's a little goofy. Another thing I wanted to talk about as well is, now that the heat is coming up, it's going to start getting hot. I've talked about this in episodes before as well. Again, you can go back and listen to those. I recommend listening to some episodes, getting some more information, background information. Do some cold rinses in the shower, or cold baths, or ice baths, whatever it may be called. I would say that most people probably don't want to buy a tub and fill it up with, several gallons of ice and water. So you don't necessarily have to do that. Just take a cold rinse. Maybe even after you get that sun, right in the morning, go inside, get in your shower, and just cold rinse for a couple minutes. And I say a couple minutes because it doesn't have to be very long, especially when you're first beginning. What I did at the beginning to start cold rinsing was I would do it at the end of my shower. So I'd take a shower, excuse me, and I shower at night. So we'll get into that in a second, but I would get into the shower, take my shower, water would be warm, obviously, and then I would stand under there and very quickly push the knob or handle, whatever it is, all the way to the cold water, without looking at the water, obviously. So the water is splashing on my head. I turn it all the way to cold, and then I let it run over my head and my back and my face. I try to let it do that for a couple seconds, and then I would turn it back to warm. Then warm myself up and get back out. I'll do that for about 10 seconds at the beginning, right? Still getting some benefit from doing that, because I'm cooling my body down very quickly, and then I'm warming it back up. It's boosting my immune system, my central nervous system. It's improving blood flow. It's helping reduce stress, helping reduce inflammation. There are some serious benefits to cold rinsing, to cold baths, polar plunges, whatever you want to call it. Cold thermogenesis. There's some other words. There's some serious benefits to that. So I would say get some sun if possible, and definitely get some cold water. Make sure it hits your face, your forehead, your neck, your back, your chest, your arms. Make sure it hits every part. And then also make sure you lift up your arms. If you watch on YouTube, you can see. You can lift up your arms and get in your armpits too. Get that water in your armpits. Even if you do this all very quickly, and it only takes 5 to 10 seconds at the beginning just to get your body used to it, you'll start building it up. So then what I did from there is I would try to go longer and longer. I would try to stay under, keep my head under for 20 seconds. Now I'm just counting my head. Obviously, I probably count a little faster than the normal clock would. But then I'll try to do it for 20 seconds, and then I would do the rest of my body. And then I would try to do that for 20 seconds, and then stand or do the rest of my body for a couple more seconds each part, right? Up until I got to about the 2-minute mark each time. And I do this before bed. Now, some studies show that doing a cold rinse wakes you up, right? Obviously, you're going to get an initial shock because you are using that cold water and your body's not used to it. So you're going to shock yourself basically awake some studies show that it will have a cause like alertness. So doing it before bed might not be the best for some people, but there are other studies that show that it actually does help to relax you. So I think there's just individual variances. And why I'm saying this is I do it at night, and I don't think it gives me a problem going to sleep. I track my sleep. I also did an episode on this. I track my sleep, and had it really been affecting my sleep, I would have caught it fairly fast, and I would have changed it. But if you are a person who showers at night like myself, and you try it at night, and it just seems to really not work well, just switch it up and do it in the morning. I'm actually going to transition to doing my cold rinse and only my cold rinse in the morning, and then just do my regular shower at night. And then in the morning, because then you don't have to worry about if it is waking you up, or you can use that as like a pre-coffee, right? Or if you don't even drink coffee, that'll help you wake up as well. So it's going to be trial and error at the beginning, but start slow, start light. Do 5-10 seconds at the beginning, then do 15 seconds, then do 20 seconds, then do 30 seconds underneath the water, and get those benefits. Those are two very, very large benefits or large tips for overall health that will help to benefit your summer journey, right? Your summer fitness, health, and wellness journey. You do that and add proper sleep. The tips I said before, do some cardio, walking, jogging, running, and definitely do some resistance training. And you will be on not all at once, obviously. You don't have to do all this very often. Like, you don't have to do it every single day. You'll be on a pretty good path to a successful journey. So I'm not going to drag this episode out. I feel like I dragged the last episode out, and I'm pretty sure I chatted way too much last. Got off track a lot because I was so tired. I'll probably be explaining that at some point on a YouTube video, but those are the tips I wanted to go over. I didn't receive any questions. I hope everybody who's listening and supporting is actually getting some information out of what I'm giving you. Even if you don't have any questions, you're definitely free to comment on our videos, on our social media, anywhere that you see you can comment on, and we would appreciate that. So if anybody has any questions on anything they heard, by all means, let us know. We would love to answer them. If you like what you heard here on YouTube, you hit that subscribe button. On the podcast platform, I think you just hit the likes. I'm not even 100% sure on what you call that. You follow, you like, you subscribe, depending on the platform. And thank you for listening. Thank you for the support. And I'm going to wrap this episode up. We will see everybody next week. I'm going to try to get a guest on next week, since we will everything's settling down here, and that should be a fun episode. So thank you for tuning in, and hope to see everybody next week. Thank you.